Hi guys, welcome back to the channel with Lee in Thailand. Don't worry, me and Toon haven't split up, it's just that Toon's gone out, so I thought I'd do a video without her. And quite a big one today, well, a big subject rather, and it's dating Thai women. And I just want to sort of like level up the playing field, so to speak. Well, what I mean is, I want to give another side of the story. When I say the other side of the story, what I'm getting at is, if you look on YouTube or Thai forums, blog posts, you speak to guys in the bars in Thailand, or people guys have been to Thailand and dated Thai women, you get a very, very one-sided story. So this is nothing more than to give the other side of the story and to help balance out a lot of the Thai woman bashing. I don't mean physically, but verbally, that's going on online. So let's give it a go. So let's kick off why I personally think there's a lot of this anti-Thai woman bashing that's going on online, and the main reason, and correct me if I'm wrong guys, it's because a lot of us guys have been in failed relationships with Thai women. Lee, you're not saying anything that we don't already know. Well, let's just put it into context, shall we? I'm not far off 50 years old. How many relationships have I been in my life? I haven't kept count, honestly. But let's say a ballpark figure of 10 serious relationships. I don't know what the national or international average is for a 50-year-old bloke. How many relationships? It could be 5, it could be 50, couldn't it? But let's go with, say, 10. Every single one of my relationships, bar this one, has been a failed relationship. And it's exactly the same for all of you guys and everyone else. The only exception that I can think of, and again, if I've missed something, because I haven't scripted it guys, if I have missed something, the only thing that I can think of where you're no longer with someone, but you wouldn't have classed it as a failed relationship, if you're the most unlucky person in the bloody world and you're bloody widowed, okay? So apart from that, all your other relationships are failed relationships, guys. So again, let's go back. 10 relationships, 50-year-old bloke. Bar this one, 90% of my relationships have ended in failure. And it's exactly the same for you. It doesn't sound good, does it? Let's bear that in mind then, and now take it to a bloke going to Thailand. A 50-year-old bloke, or 40 or 60-year-old bloke going to Thailand. Why is he going to Thailand? Well, he's probably single. He's probably in another failed relationship or just coming out of it on a bit of a rebound. 40, 50, 60 years old. He's probably got a few quid in his pocket, hasn't he? I know I did when I went to Thailand. It's a brilliant country to come out to and let off steam and let your hair down and have a good laugh and soak up the culture. Carefree, have a few beers, meet some beautiful women, all those sorts of things. So I'm not saying that all guys do that, but let's be honest, most guys that go to Thailand are single and they go there for the women. Let's not bullshit, guys. So this Thai bashing has come around from what I reckon is through people that have entered into relationships, and guess what? It's ended in another failed relationship. Remember, 90% of your relationships, or upwards I suppose, are going to fail. So why the bitterness? And this is my take on it. The bitterness is because you've landed an absolute stunning woman, you've fallen head over heels with her, you've been splashing the cash, you've been living like a king, you've ploughed everything into the relationship, you've upped sticks, and you've moved to Thailand, and don't forget, 90% chance it's going to fail. So that's why I think there's more bitterness involved, because people just go head straight into it. You've heard all the quotes, haven't you? They're so cliche. No money, no honey. You know, my dad's buffalo's sick. When your money's gone, she's gone. You can take the girl out the bar, but you can't take the bar out the girl. They're all gamblers. All their families are alcoholics and lazy, and they're all trying to skank her for a lang. Now, I'm not saying that a lot aren't like that. There are a lot, but there's a lot of bloody people in the world, isn't there? So we're looking at percentages again, aren't we? Are we going to say that the majority of Thai women are like that? I don't think so. How many people have been in failed relationships in the Western world, where you know you might have had a kid or two, you bought a house? How many of you have been sort of like renting a room somewhere when it all goes tits up, guys? You know, and you're paying your maintenance, and you've had to leave the family home because you know your wife's got the kids, and you know the law comes down on their side. And you're going to have to wait a long, long time before your kids are old enough that you can sell that house and get half your money back. So what I'd like to include in this short video is why I think it's nice to date Thai women. And not to be blinkered that they're all like this, but this is from what I've seen. You know, okay, me and Toom are coming up to 15 years married now. But it's not to say that I didn't see Thai women before that. And on the whole, well, obviously I've been quite impressed because, you know, I carried on after my first failed one and found one that I think is perfect for me in tune. So first reason why I think you should be dating Thai women, if this is your sort of thing, I think they're beautiful, beautiful people. Thailand, the blokes and the women are just really attractive people anyway, and they age well. The second thing I suppose is on the lines with this. They're like I find them quite feminine. I'm not dissing women from other countries. I'm just saying what I really like about Thai women. You know, they're petite, they're feminine. Yeah, okay, as Western fast food comes over into Thailand, you can see the body shapes and that sort of thing changing over time. But let's remember, guys, most of us are sort of like over 50 years old, and we're hardly an Adonis ourselves, are we? So we're quick to criticise women on their shapes and sizes, but I think when we have a look in the mirror ourselves, we're not looking too hot, are we? I suppose for the women that are watching this video, it might say, oh, bloody, it's just talking about how they look and the size, and, you know, are they fat, are they short, are they got nice hair and all that sort of thing. Let's not forget, you know, there's a history of this sort of thing, isn't it? And I know in the UK, many moons ago, a lot of women were absolutely obsessed with having very, very slim waists, and they were even removing a rib or two just to get the corset on as tight as possible and have like a 16-inch waist and something ridiculous like that. So it's always been, you know, there's more pressure on women, of course, to keep looking good. It's easy for us blokes, isn't it? We can have lavandles and a beer belly, and we're not that bothered, are we? So the third thing is I find, well, Thai people in general, but certainly the Thai women, very, very fun to be around. You know, they're lively, they've got some life about them. They're not sort of, you know, moping around. They've always got something to say and have a giggle about, and looking on the bright side of life. There's enough doom and gloom in the world without hanging around people like that, and I think I've touched upon it in other videos. You know, the people that you hang around, one, speaks volumes of yourself, but two, if they're negative, down in the dumps, bitter, twisted, you know, grumpy old gits, then that it's going to rub off on you. It's inevitable if you spend enough time around those sorts of people. So to me, hanging around Thai people, I find it quite uplifting. Not taking life too seriously. They're like what I found certainly with Toon is like live for today. Now, don't get me wrong, you have to plan for the future, but your whole thought process, to me, shouldn't be all about the future. When I was back in the UK doing the 9-to-5 grind, you know, paying the mortgage, paying the bills, okay, they're very, very important things. Saving for your pension, And sometimes you forget to bloody enjoy yourself and live for today, and wake up in the morning like, let's just do something fun for today, rather than go shopping, you know, and wash the car. I mean, Jesus, you know, our motorbike's minging, I don't care. But I tell you what, we have a laugh, we'll go fishing, we'll go swimming in the lake, No, never did that sort of thing before. Okay, it would have been cold, bit too cold in the UK, but when Toon was with me in the UK, we would go to the east coast, even when it was snowing. We'd be fishing for the flatfish and pollock and all those sorts of things, and bass fishing. You know, it was so cold that the worms would freeze before we could get them on the hook. It was good fun. You know, rustling up a barbecue. Toon would be out in the dark, like 2 o'clock in the morning on the beach with a head torch on, trying to gather driftwood to make a barbecue and cook some of the fish. Just fun, just good fun, and that's what life's about. If it's not fun, you've got it badly wrong, haven't you? Resilience. When I say that, I find Thai women very, very resilient. And certainly if your Thai girlfriend or wife has come from the sticks, like farming, small village and communities, that sort of thing, they're expected to work just as hard, if not harder, than the guys. They'll work shoulder to shoulder with them in the rice fields. You know, they'll be planting the cassava. You'll see them spraying the weed killers, and don't get me started with the chemicals. And then they're still expected to do the house chores when they get back, cleaning, washing, doing the dishes, cooking, all those sorts of things. So they work, generally speaking, they work harder than the Thai guys out here. I'm not going to get involved sort of like all Thai guys are lazy. There appears to be quite a big section that maybe are, but there's a lot that are hard working as well. What gets me is, how can you be so judgmental, sitting in a boozer, eating a burger and having a pint of Guinness or 3, or tapping away on your Thai forum or whatever, saying, look, all Thai blokes are lazy, they just sit around drinking Lao Khao all day. That's just a small part for some people that you've seen, and then it's so easy just to jump on the bandwagon that everyone's the same. Now, I don't know about all Thai women, obviously, but from what I've seen, they're pretty much straight talking, and some guys don't like that. They like a woman to be seen and not heard, or I suppose in the olden days to know their place. You know, I've dated women that have been lovely, peaceful, gentle, quiet women. Bored. I'd rather a woman that just comes out with it, speaks straight, and isn't a shy, retiring violet. It upsets a lot of people to hear the truth sometimes, and don't get me wrong, Toon's not right all the time, but at least she has conviction in her thoughts and enough conviction to say what she thinks, and it's all out in the open. It's such a refreshing change that after 15 years, you know what it's like, fellas. You've been in a relationship for 15 odd years or so, and you don't actually have to say anything, or your missus doesn't have to say anything. You just look at the face, don't you? And you've got the 50-yard stare, and you're like, oh, what have I done today? I just don't really start thinking, don't you? You're like, what's the problem, love? And instead of getting nothing, and it dragging on 2 or 3 days, it'd be like, well, you dick, you haven't done this, have you? Or you forgot that, or blah-de-blah-de-blah. And we're like, yeah, you're quite right there. Or you can jog on, love. I actually did that. You just haven't noticed. Okay, and it's done. That's it. It's done. It's out of the way. You know, if there's something major, it may take a day to get over, but there's none of this 3 or 4 days or a week or a month or things escalating. It's out in the open, and it can be dealt with, isn't it? If it's not out in the open, things fester, get out of hand. And I think really, as I say, I don't want to go on too long. One of the main things for me is the caring and attentive side of a Thai woman. And for me, I like to be pampered. Now, I know Toon doesn't look like the pampering type, and a lot of the time she isn't. But I've never had a woman cut my fingernails, my toenails, shave me before, check me back for spots or anything like that, do a face pack for me, cut my hair, clean my ears with earbuds and all that sort of thing. I've never had that before. And a lot of blokes might be, yeah, bloody mamby-pamby, blah-de-blah. To be like that with your partner, and for them to sit there for a couple of hours in the evening grooming you, to me, I feel like $1 million. I think I've said in the past as well. Toon will sit there watching her TV, and Thai TV, I can't hack it, fellas. So sometimes I'll just lay down, my head on her knee, and she'll sit there, yeah, watching her crappy TV, playing Candy Crush and stroking my hair and singing at the same time. I mean, if that's not multitasking, I don't know what is. But that's the sort of thing, you know. I could die a happy man on my deathbed if my missus is stroking my hair and singing to me. To me, that makes your heart feel really full. I suffer quite badly with jumpy legs. When I say jumpy legs, it's like an intense nerve build-up feeling in your legs, and if I don't hit my legs or stretch my legs will end up jumping all over the place, and it can be quite painful and impossible to get to sleep. And it doesn't matter what time of night it is. If it's like 1 o'clock in the morning, I can just give Toon a tap and say, look, can you walk on my legs for me? Or my back needs cracking, can you just walk on my back? And hand on heart, guys, this is probably 3-4 times a week I do this. I know I should eat more bananas. The potassium apparently helps. But there's no cure for jumpy leg syndrome. Not once has my wife moaned, and not once given me a moody face to do something to help me. I absolutely swear by that. And I have to remember that sometimes, because Toon, of course, most of you know, we work side by side in the farm. And I know you all think she works harder than me. Someone plays up to the camera, don't they? And you know, of course, sometimes she's a bit broken at night, so when she asks me to massage her or try and crack her back and that sort of thing, I am qualified in Swedish massage and sports injury massage, by the way. So I try my best not to do a moody face. I gave a moody face once, and then she refused my massage. And she reminded me that she's never given me a moody face. So fair dues, isn't it? I was a bit of a dick. So that's it, really. I wouldn't say it's balanced it out, because what got me, I was at the hospital the other week with Toon, and it gave me a little while just to look on YouTube. And coming up in the suggested section on the side of the YouTube page, it came up with, 20 reasons not to date a Thai woman, and 6 things you mustn't do dating a Thai woman. So I was like, I'll have a look at that. 2 minutes into it, like, you're a dickhead, mate. Bitter and twisted dickhead. But of course, once you start watching one genre, then you'll get suggested, oh, that's right, look at that. Dickhead. Disrespectful. Incorrect. So I started trying to look for the yang. You got the yin, I wanted to have a look at the yang. No yang. Well, hang on, there's lots of guys out in Thailand that are perfectly happy dating Thai women and wouldn't have it any other way. And if they do end up in yet another failed relationship, they're not bitter and twisted about it. They're just like, back in the Western world, well, plenty more fish in the sea, let's go on and try another one. And hopefully I can snare the woman of my dreams in the future. So hopefully I've tried to give a bit of a flip side. Again, lucky for me, I found my soulmate. But if you like Thai women, and if unfortunately it doesn't work out for you, because you get a bad one, or you just get one that isn't quite right for you, don't paint them all with the same brush. Everyone's different, and just move on. Don't let it make you bitter and twisted and disrespectful to a lot of people. Okie dokie, look forward to the comment section as always. I'm sure there'll be a few people of different opinions, and I know quite a few of our subscribers to the channel have had awful experiences dating Thai women, and some have married and some have got kids, and I do feel for you guys. Yeah, I know a lot of us have been into relationships blinkered with our heads in the clouds, but everyone's different. Recently on our Facebook group, Rural Life Thailand, it did get me thinking on there as well, because a few people were sometimes making a jovial comment about their wives and that sort of thing, and some people were taking it to heart. I try to sort of let it go. I tend not to comment too much on that sort of thing. But the general, well, quite a common consensus was, you know, if you date a woman out at the bar or a club or anything like that, or one that is uneducated, comes from a poor family, has originated from the middle of nowhere in the sticks, then you're more than likely going to end up in a miserable, yet another failed relationship. I don't believe that. I think you're going to get some, well, from what I've seen, you get some absolutely beautiful hearted people that haven't got two bites of the name, that work in the fields, are super poor, that haven't completed school. Toon didn't complete school till about 4 or 5 years ago. Just because you're uneducated does not mean that you're not clever. And as far as women that work in bars and clubs and pubs and strip this and dance that, still people, aren't they? Yeah, if someone's been doing that for about 20-30 years, if they're bitter and twisted, I think some of us should start looking at ourselves and asking whether we're partly to blame or not. So a good person is a good person in my book, regardless of your social standing, your career choice. And let's not forget, a lot of Thai women don't get to choose their careers, guys. They're forced into it for many, many reasons. So there you go. Dating Thai women. I'm a fan. Are you? Ta-ra for now.